Live from the Sullivan Center on the campus of the University of St. Francis in Joliet, Illinois, it is Fighting Saints basketball taking on the Red Wolves of Indiana University East in a non-conference matchup today. Happy Saturday afternoon to you. Welcome to the broadcast. My name is Terry Bonadonna on the call for today's game between the number 12 Red Wolves and the number 14 Fighting Saints. Both teams come in on a little bit of a slide. The Saints lost their most recent game against NCAA Division III Wisconsin Lutheran 73-54, so they're looking to get back on track today against an Indiana University East team that is hoping it got itself back on track with a win over Huntington University in their most recent game. They had previously lost 4 in a row. Saints in gold, the Red Wolves in, you guessed it, red. Really more of the Maroon Wolves, but seems like nitpicking. And the tip is won by IU East. They're going from left to right here in the first half. Kristen Miller on the drive, turned away by Nicole Davidson, and Kamari Jordan comes away with it. The starters today for the Fighting Saints are the standard starting 5, Ivana Markovic, Kamari Jordan in the backcourt. The forwards are Paige Gieske and Nicole Davidson, Caitlin Aylward at center. Kamari Jordan in the corner with 13 to shoot, passes it outside to Aylward. She drives down the right side, floats it up off the glass, no good, and rebounded on the opposite end by Sybil Roseborough. One of 3 guards for the Red Wolves. Roseborough joined in the backcourt by Kristen Miller and Tia King. The forwards are Mackenzie Campbell and Sarah Cook. This is Miller. On the outside, she'll try the open 3, a little bit too strong. Rebound out to Aylward, but poked out of her hands by Roseborough, and the Red Wolves will get to try again with a fresh shot clock. Miller drives and kicks out to Cook. Cook into the lane, back out. Campbell around Aylward, draws the foul as she goes to the hoop. Minute 2 seconds into the game, no field goals yet, but some free throws here for Mackenzie Campbell for their chance for the game's first points. The foul is the first of the game, and it's called on the sophomore Caitlin Aylward. First free throw rims out from Mackenzie Campbell, a rare missed free throw from Campbell. She led the nation in free throw shooting as a sophomore 2 years ago, shooting 88% this year. And her second attempt is good. So it's 1-0. Indiana University East takes the early lead, and St. Francis takes possession. Paige Gieske on the left wing. Gieske dribbles once, passes up top to Aylward. Give and go with Nicole Davidson, and some contact. A foul is called on the defense. First call against IU East today, and this one goes against Campbell. Gieske to inbound. She finds Davidson on the right wing. Here's Kamari Jordan, averaging 14.5 points per game this year. Swung around to the left side to the freshman Paige Gieske back in the lineup. They're missing a couple of games with an injury. She's wearing the mask today, but starting and should be ready to go the full slate of minutes. Kamari Jordan with 6 to shoot, backs her way inside. 4 on the shot clock, and she travels. Kamari Jordan called for the travel. It's a St. Francis turnover. And IU East reclaims possession. Leading 1-0, just about 2 minutes gone in this game. We've yet to see either side make a field goal. Roseborough dribbles around the perimeter, nearly lost control of the ball, but she was able to pick it up and give it off to Tia King. Red Wolves' leading scorer hands it off to Miller for 3. It's good. 4-0 IU East. I mentioned King's the leading scorer. She's also the leading assister on the team, and she picks one up right there as Kristen Miller knocks down her first 3 points of the night. Nicole Davidson, as the Saints try to answer, fires inside for Aylward, and it's deflected away by Campbell. Stolen, actually Cook on the deflection. Campbell gets the steal. Now inside Sarah Cook, up over Aylward, too high off the glass, and a loose ball foul is called on Sarah Cook, battling Nicole Davidson for that rebound. Second foul on the Red Wolves here in the first quarter, and we've got a substitution as Caitlin Aylward, with her 1 foul, checks out. Andriana Acosta is the game's first sub. Ivana Markovic walks it down the floor. Markovic dribbles to the right side, passes up top to Acosta. Here's Davidson looking for Acosta inside, well defended. Instead it's Jordan for three, off to the left, rebound to Campbell. Tia King drives and kicks out to Miller. Three-pointer is on the mark. Kristen Miller's got 6 points on a pair of three-pointers, both of them assisted by Tia King. And IU East off to a red-hot start, leading 7-0, 3 minutes in. Amari Jordan looking for the Saints' first points of the night. Well defended by Miller, couldn't get the shot off. Here's Davidson instead. Davidson flips it to Acosta underneath. Acosta throws it up, draws the contact, but no foul. And she can't finish on the layup. Looking for the reverse to the right side. IU East comes away with it. Here's a drive from Miller and a kick out to Roseboro. Her three in and out. Rebounded by Davidson. Much needed stop for St. Francis on the defensive end, and now we'll see if they can get going offensively. 0 for the game so far. It's Gieske off to Markovic. Ivana Markovic finds Nicole Davidson on the right wing. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Swung around to the left side, and Paige Gieske. Gieske drives at the elbow. Shovels it off to Jordan, and Jordan knocks down the three. Huge three-pointer for Kamari Jordan as the Saints were very much in need of a bucket. They get one from their senior star. And they trail by just 4 points with 5:50 to play in the first quarter. Here's King. Firing over to Kristen Miller. Miller drives around Davidson, pull up from the lane. She's fouled. Couldn't finish on the shot as it boinks off the side rim. But Miller will head to the free throw line for 2 shots after the foul called against Nicole Davidson. And Miller's got a chance to add to her game high 6 points. There's number 7. Paige Gieske grabs a seat. Maddie Kennedy checks in. Second shot is good. 9-3. IU East has the advantage. And Kamari Jordan will handle the ball on this possession. Jordan passes to Kennedy. First touch for the sophomore guard. Up top to Ivana Markovic. Markovic flings it into the corner for Jordan. Jordan wants to drive the baseline. Miller all over her. Miller swipes that ball away, but Acosta picks up the loose ball, throws it up off the glass and in. Adriana Acosta, Johnny on the spot on that possession after some solid defense from Miller. Now good defense by Maddie Kennedy. She pokes it away from Tia King, and the Saints are on the run. Ivana Markovic will slow it down. Red Wolves did a nice job getting back on D. First quarter, half gone. Saints trail by 4. It's Jordan on the outside. Mari Jordan, guarded by Tia King, gets to the foul line, leans and throws it up, no good. Rebounded by King. Sybil Roseboro lobbed ahead for Miller, and Miller chases it down. Here's Roseboro again to the right side. Mackenzie Campbell bounces down low. Sarah Cook guarded straight up by Davidson into the corner. Back out to King. King on the left wing, 12 to shoot. Kristen Miller bounces up top. Roseboro took a step. That's traveling on Sybil Roseboro. Roseboro, junior guard from Elyria, Ohio, getting a rare start today. It is just her second of the year. She's playing in place of Libby Springmeyer, who had started all 15 games prior to today, but Tiffany Selhorst decided to shake things up a little bit, and as I say that, Springmeyer does check into the game. Kaylin Aylward back in for St. Francis. Acosta over to Kennedy, left wing. Here's Ivana Markovic trying the three. Too strong, rebounded by Cook. IU East has the ball back, still up by 4. King crosses over to the left, fires to the cutting Cook. It's deflected away by Aylward, but Cook gets it back into the corner. The three-pointer misses from Campbell, and St. Francis comes away with it. Kamari Jordan wants to run. She gets all the way inside and draws the contact from Cook. That'll be Sarah Cook's second foul. Nice job by Kamari Jordan forcing the issue and getting Cook out of the game. She'll be replaced by Amanda Warland, 5'11" freshman forward, making her first appearance. 3:47 to play, first quarter. Inbounded to Aylward, and Aylward puts it up and in right off the pass from Maddie Kennedy. Nicely drawn up inbounds play for the Saints, and they're within one possession for the first time since it was 1-0. Drive from Campbell and a kick out to Roseboro on the left side. Roseboro hounded by Acosta, but she gets it away to Mackenzie Campbell. Campbell backs it out to the midcourt circle, but only 6 on the shot clock now. She picks up her dribble, fires inside, and finds a wide open Amanda Warland, who's able to finish off. 27 seconds of great defense there from the Saints, but they were not able to finish off the possession. And IU East comes away with the bucket, up by 4 again. Kamari Jordan dribbles it out of the corner into the right wing, looking for a cutting Maddie Kennedy down the baseline, but it's intercepted by Tia King, and a frustration foul committed by Jordan as she bumps King. First foul on Jordan. She commits the team's third. IU East basketball, under 3 minutes to play in the quarter, up by 4 points. Red Wolves ranked number 12 in the country. This is Springmeyer circling around and drawing the travel. Springmeyer took it in the corner, dribbled it around the key, and then lost control of the ball a little bit. Forced herself into a traveling violation. It's a turnover committed by the Red Wolves, Fighting Saints basketball. Here's Aylward on the left wing. Up top, Markovic. Over to Kennedy. Acosta to Markovic, left side, 11 to shoot. Kamari Jordan tries the three. She hits another. Kamari Jordan brings the team within 1 as she's got 6 points. She's got a pair of threes for the Saints to match Kristen Miller's 2 3-pointers for the Red Wolves. And we've got a tight one here late in the first quarter. Warland off to King. King tries a three with Markovic in her face. King undeterred. Responds to Kamari Jordan's 3-pointer with her first 3 points of the night. Came into play today, 6th in the country, averaging 20 points per game. Here is Markovic. Markovic passes off to Aylward. Aylward dribbles inside, kicks it out to Jordan. Another 3-point attempt. No, but she's fouled this time by Libby Springmeyer. And Kamari Jordan will have 3 free throws coming her way. 14-10, IU East has the lead, but Kamari Jordan doing a good job keeping the Saints in it from the outside. She's hit a pair of 3-pointers and looking for another 3-point play right here. She misses on the first free throw. Kamari Jordan this season is shooting 86% from the foul line, or at least she was prior to that one. 43 for 51. They got 44 for 52 as she hits the second. Miller back in for Indiana East. And Sybil Roseboro will take a seat. Last free throw of 3 for Kamari Jordan. She hits 2 of 3. Saints are within a pair. Miller with the ball for IU East. Tia King nearly knocked out of bounds. Fires it out to Springmeyer. Here's Miller on the drive, and she is bumped by Maddie Kennedy. Nice drive by Kristen Miller. Senior guard has been very impressive in the early going. Kennedy picks up her first foul, the team's 4th, so each side is at their limit. Free throws the rest of the quarter. First free throw is good. Miller's got 9 points already out of her team's 15. Trying to become a double-digit scorer in the first quarter, she does. She's hit all of her free throw attempts in the game, as well as a couple of 3-pointers. 4 for 4 from the line. Ball squirts through the hands of Aylward, but she sticks with it. Aylward over to Kamari Jordan. Down into the corner, and open Ivana Markovic. 3-pointer is good. Ivana Markovic from the outside brings the Saints back to within 1. She's got her first 3 points. Under a minute to play in the quarter. Good shooting for both sides in the early going today. Here's Campbell on the drive. Pull up from 10 feet, no good. Acosta may have gotten her hand on that one. Saints can take their first lead of the game. It's Aylward. Up to Markovic. Remember, St. Francis went down right off the bat 7-0. They've recovered from that nicely. Trying to take a lead into the second quarter. Ivana Markovic, left side, 8 seconds to shoot. Into the cutting Aylward, and Aylward took a hop. That's traveling violation. So the Saints turn it over, not able to take the advantage on that possession. They'll try to come up with one more stop to end the period here. Hannah Blakely in for Indiana East. Libby Springmeyer back to the bench. 12 seconds to go in the quarter. It's Kristen Miller. Miller up top, picks up her dribble and hands it off to Tia King. King, step back three, blocked by Kamari Jordan. Loose ball picked up by Aylward. 3 seconds to go in the corner. Aylward will fire one up from three-quarter court, and that was well defended. No chance to get anything on that shot, but St. Francis goes into the quarter break on a little bit of a run. They were down by as many as 7. They'll head to the second period trailing by just 1. 16-15 our score. We'll step aside for a moment. Back with the second period shortly. After a quarter, IU East leads St. Francis 16-15. Saints shooting the ball well. They've turned the ball over 4 times, but again, they've made up for that with their shooting. 5 of 10 from the field, including 3 of 5 from downtown. Kamari Jordan leads the way with 8 points and a couple of rebounds. IU East just 36% from the field, but 3 of 7 on 3-pointers. They hit just 1 of 4 2-pointers. They're 5 of 6 from the free throw line. Their leading scorer is Kristen Miller, who is 4 of 4 from the line and 2 of 3 from 3-point range. 10 points in 1 quarter for the senior Miller. St. Francis ball to start the second. Still looking for their first lead of the game. Kamari Jordan for 3. She hits another. Jordan, 3 3-pointers in the game, and St. Francis does indeed take their first lead, 18-16, very early in the second quarter. Here's Kristen Miller on the drive. She shovels it off to Blakely, who travels. I think that's the 3rd traveling violation called against IU East today. It's their 4th turnover in all. And Blakely that time just struggled to get a handle on the ball after the pass came her way. Continued to take steps, though, and turned it over. St. Francis basketball, 4 of 6 from 3-point range. 3 of those coming from Kamari Jordan. Ivana Markovic hit the other. She gives it off to Caitlin Aylward. Down low, Acosta. Acosta in the post, banks it in. Pretty move by Andriana Acosta. She's got 4 points, and the Saints have their biggest lead at 20-16. They have outscored IU East 20-9 since the first couple of minutes when the Red Wolves went ahead 7-0. Drive from Miller and an easy layup. Kristen Miller has been very impressive so far today. 12 points now, taking the game high right back from Kamari Jordan. There's Caitlin Aylward in a little bit of trouble. Dribbles once and passes off to Markovic. Here's Jordan on the left wing, 12 to shoot. Inside to a cutting Acosta, who finishes from the left side with the layup. Beautiful movement without the ball from Acosta there, and a perfect find from Kamari Jordan. 22-18, a 4-point lead for the Fighting Saints. It's Kristen Miller driving again. Step back, Jordan in her face. She couldn't get the shot off. Here's Tia King. King looking for the screen. She's got it to the right side. Step back jumper from long 2-point range. Rims out from Tia King. Very slow going from IU East's biggest star today. King has just 3 points thus far. She came in averaging 20 per game. 6th in the nation. Markovic holds on the left and fires over to Acosta. Adriana Acosta's played some good minutes off the bench. Pass down into the corner, tip, but it finds Maddie Kennedy. Kennedy back in to Aylward, and I think she stepped on the baseline. We're going to get a foul, actually. Foul on IU East. So it'll stay with St. Francis. The foul is called on number 24, Amanda Warland, her first and the team's first. And Warland heads to the bench. Haley Conway, the lone 6-footer on the IU East roster, makes her first appearance of the game. Acosta bounces to Jordan, fresh 30 on the shot clock, 7.5 minutes to play in the first half. Markovic over to Jordan. Left side, Kennedy. Here's Aylward up top. She bounces once to the right, picks up her dribble, flings it inside for Acosta, and Acosta's fouled by Sybil Roseborough. Second foul on East. First foul on Roseborough. And another fresh shot clock for St. Francis. They've held on to this ball for a while now. Bounced into Aylward. Aylward right up with it. No. Well defended by Haley Conway. And IU East comes up with the stop. Miller into the corner for Blakely. Blakely fakes left, dribbles right, and passes to King. Under 7 minutes to play in the quarter. This is Tia King. Over to Conway, handed right back off to King. Tough defense from Markovic. King drives, misses the runner, but draws the foul. Foul called on Acosta. Excuse me, Markovic, 12 rather than 21. It's Markovic's first foul, and it's the team's first. Sends King to the free throw line. Their shot is good. Red Wolves have led the majority of the way in this first half, but they find themselves down by 3 right now. King trying to move it back to within 2 points. And she does. Perfect from the line. Tia King's got 5. She's got 5. Miller's got 12. The rest of the team has combined for just 3 points. Here's Aylward dribbling around to the right side. She floats it off the back iron. No. Long rebound down along the sideline, and Aylward can't track it down. She was the last one to touch it before it went out of bounds. It'll be Indiana basketball. Down by 2 points here. Indiana East could tie or reclaim the lead with a 3-pointer on this possession. Miller off to her left. This is Conway, right back to Kristen Miller. Miller drives left side, lays it up and in. She has gotten to the hoop at will here in the first half. Miller has got 14 points. Entered play today, averaging 12.3 per contest. Dominant first half for the senior guard. Tie game 22-22. It's Jordan. Over to Kennedy. Down into the corner, Markovic. Markovic, step back 3, short. And Acosta gets the offensive rebound. She throws it off of Roseborough, trying to knock it out of bounds. But Roseborough somehow kept it inside the line, and eventually Acosta comes back in and knocks it out. So Indiana East basketball. Excellent ball control there from Sybil Roseborough. Tia King drives left side and draws the foul. King back to the free throw line. Has not really been able to get going in this first half from the field. But in the second quarter, she's done a nice job of getting herself to the foul line and finding points wherever she can. She's got 5 so far, 2 free throws on this possession. And the first one hits. IU East takes the lead back. Markovic checks out. Paige Gieske playing with that mask on. Back in after a long rest for the starting forward. Second shot is good. Gieske's coming back after missing a few games. And Acosta has played really well, so there's been no hurry to get her back on the floor, but she checks in for Markovic now. Aylward to Kamari Jordan. Jordan to Kennedy on the right side. 10 to shoot. Maddie Kennedy passes up top. Gieske swung around the left side. Aylward. Here's Jordan with just 5 on the shot clock. Jordan steps back on Miller. Nice move. Jumper from the elbow. No. Acosta battling for the rebound. Called for the over-the-back foul. Second foul on Acosta. Make that her first foul. Markovic remains the only player on the team with 2 fouls. 5 minutes to play in the first half. Miller for 3. No good this time. And an over-the-back foul called on Haley Conway. A little push in the back of Caitlin Aylward. So back-to-back missed shots and loose ball fouls called on the offensive team. St. Francis back in control, down by 2. Red Wolves on a 6-0 run. St. Francis trying to snap it right here. Jordan thought about the 3. She puts the ball on the floor instead, gives it up to Aylward. Aylward has just 2 points so far today, and now she's called for her second foul, running over Kristen Miller, who did a nice job taking that charge. 4:40 to play in the half. 2 fouls on Aylward. Just 2 points in the game for the sophomore forward as well. So she's having a tough first half, and she'll be replaced by Nicole Davidson. Red Wolves up by a pair. With the ball, it's Kristen Miller. Miller dribbles to her left and passes to Roseborough in the corner. Roseborough drives, spins around Kennedy and gets to the hoop, hitting on the layup. Sybil Roseborough has her first 2 points of the afternoon. 26-22. IU East has scored the game's last 8 points. Fired inside for Jordan and deflected out of bounds by Miller. Indiana East scored the first 7 points of the game. And now they've gone on an even better run of 8-0. See if St. Francis is able to respond going into the halftime break. Gieske having some trouble getting it in, and she's called for the 5 seconds. She got it in just a split second late there. Leah Sims is in. And Maddie Kennedy will come out. Sims making her first appearance of the game. Backup point guard for the Fighting Saints. IU East has taken this thing over, trying to keep that momentum on their side. It's King, dribbling to the right and passing off to Roseborough for 3. High arcing shot goes for Sybil Roseborough. She has scored 5 points in the last 2 minutes after not scoring prior to that. And it's 29-22. IU East has matched their largest lead of the game. Saints looking for a spark offensively. Paige Gieske for 3. No good. Rebounded by King. King throws it away, looking for Roseborough underneath the hoop. She overthrew her by a wide margin. And Paige Gieske will sit down. Allie Hernandez is in. Steve Brooks continues to look for that spark off the bench with Sims and Hernandez, the young backcourt playing in the game now. Markovic and Aylward both on the bench with a couple of fouls. Here's Acosta off to Sims. Ari Jordan's been out there the whole way so far. She's the one that got him back in it in the first quarter with her 3-point shooting. This is Leah Sims to Jordan, 8 to shoot. Jordan finds Hernandez left side. Allie Hernandez drives and will not get the shot off before she's bumped on the floor. Nice drive by Hernandez. She did finish with the layup, but the foul was called a couple of steps before that. It's the 4th foul on IU East and the first called against Hannah Blakely. Blakely will grab a seat. And Imani Reese makes her first appearance of the game. Acosta out to Sims. 3 minutes to play in the quarter. Fresh 30-second shot clock on the inbounds play after the foul. Here's Kamari Jordan off the glass and gets the roll from the front rim. Kamari Jordan, first points in a while. She's got 13 now for the game. And a much-needed basket for St. Francis, back within 5. There's a drive from Campbell. Campbell can't get it to go, but she gets her own rebound and scores. Nice pull-up on the drive. She was trying to draw the contact. She didn't. But as two St. Francis defenders blew by her, she had the rebound all to herself. Hernandez. Bouncing for the free throw line for Davidson, who nearly had it knocked away. Nice job by Davidson just to tip it back over to Jordan. But now Davidson gives it up to Miller, and Miller is fouled by Jordan. That's the second foul on Kamari Jordan. Sloppy pass from Nicole Davidson, and Kristen Miller took advantage of it. So Jordan becomes the third Saint to pick up her second foul, and she likely will have to sit down now as Maddie Kennedy heads to the scorer's table. And Kristen Miller, who's had an excellent first half, is back to the free throw line where she's made all 4 of her attempts so far. Make it 5 for 5. So Jordan does sit down. Warland is in for Conway for the Red Wolves. Miller, a 79% foul shooter coming into play today, is 6 for 6 from the line in this one. Nope, they're going to wave that one off. A lane violation called against Imani Reese. There's a break for the Saints. 32-24, that point taken off the board. Miller, though, does have 15 for the game. Here's Leah Sims. Bouncing it up top to Nicole Davidson. Davidson gives it back to Sims. Sims drives, dishes inside for Andriana Acosta. Nice work by the freshman Leah Sims to set that one up. And Acosta finishes. She's got 8 points. She's the only player on the floor right now who has scored. So Steve Brooks may be leaning on her a little bit over the final 2 minutes of the half. Tia King on the outside tries the three, and that's blocked by Sims. I think she got it. They're going to give the ball to St. Francis, so apparently it was not blocked by Sims. She got her hand in King's face and just forced a bad shot. Sims, strong offensive play, followed by a strong defensive play. And now back on offense. She fires over to Nicole Davidson. Here's Kennedy back to Sims right side. Allie Hernandez with 15 to shoot to Acosta. Nicole Davidson walks it around the perimeter. Pull up from the free throw line is good. Nicole Davidson has her first 2 points of the game. Saints starting to heat up a little bit from the field, down by just 4. Here's Tia King. Dribbling to the left side. Sims sticking with her the whole way, and Leah Sims is called for the foul as Tia King throws up a wild shot. He was just looking to get the foul call right there, and she got exactly what she was looking for. Back to the free throw line. I said it before, King really has not gotten anything from the field today, but has made up for it nicely by getting to the free throw line. First foul shot is good. It's the Red Wolves by 5 here with a minute to play in the first half. King's got them both. Give her 9 points for the first half, 6 of them from the free throw line. Here's Acosta. Over to Davidson. Davidson from the same spot she hit the last one, rolls in another. That's been her spot here these last few minutes, that time with a hand in her face. She's able to knock it down. 10-second difference between the shot and game clocks here. Saints trail by 4, looking for one last stop to end the first half. Kristen Miller will take her time. Wait until there are 10 seconds on the shot clock before making her move. Reese over to King. King drives left side, layup, no. Offensive rebound, back up and in from Warland. 8 seconds to play in the half. It's Hernandez. Over to Sims, 4 seconds. Sims finds Kennedy. Kennedy doesn't see the clock, and she'll let the first half come to an end. Saints trailed 7-0 right out of the gate. They fought their way back, took the lead, but IU East got hot late in the second quarter. They led by as many as 8 points, and they'll carry a 6-point edge into halftime. IU East 36, St. Francis 30. We've got 15 minutes on the clock for halftime, 20 minutes of basketball still to play. After a very exciting first half, should be more of the same in the second. So stick with us. I'm going to take a break. Back with the second half in about 15. Almost ready for half number 2 here in Joliet. St. Francis trails Indiana University East 36-30. Number 12 Red Wolves over the number 14 Fighting Saints after the first 20 minutes. Very entertaining first half. Saints shot the ball well, 55% from the field, thanks in large part to Kamari Jordan and Adriana Acosta. Jordan 13 points, Acosta 8. The two of them have scored 21 combined points on 8 of 12 shooting. The rest of the team just 9 points on 4 of 10 shooting. Their leading scorer for the season, Caitlin Aylward, stuck with just 2 points and 2 rebounds, along with 2 fouls in the first half. So we'll see if they can get her going at all in the second half. What's led to IU East's lead more than anything, free throws, 12 of 13 from the free throw line, and it should be 13 of 14. They hit another one that was waved off because of a lane violation, so the Saints caught a little bit of a break there. But Kristen Miller and Tia King have led the way. Miller 15 points. King's got 9, 6 of them from the free throw line. She's just 1 of 5 from the field. King entered play today averaging 20 points per game. Indiana East basketball as we start the third quarter. They've, of course, switched sides and now going right to left on your screen for the final 20 minutes. Here's Miller starting us off. Hand it off to Tia King. King looking for Campbell down in the corner, but the pass is deflected and taken away by Aylward. Lobbed ahead to Ivana Markovic. Markovic has 3 points. She sat down much of the second quarter because of her 2 fouls. One of 3 players on the Fighting Saints to have committed 2 fouls so far. Markovic dribbles around, 10 seconds on the shot clock. She bounces over to Jordan. Kamari Jordan dribbling in on Miller. Gets inside, misses off the glass. Offensive rebound, and the putback is good for Caitlin Aylward. That is so big from Aylward. We need to see a lot more of that from her here in the second half. Just 1 of 4 from the field and only 2 rebounds in the first half, as Acosta is called for a foul on the other end. Sybil Roseborough will go to the free throw line. That was exactly what Steve Brooks did not want to see. A lot of fouls called against the Fighting Saints in the first half. I mentioned 3 different players were whistled for 2 fouls as Roseborough misses the first free throw. And foul shooting was huge for IU East. They only shot 46% from the field compared to St. Francis's 55%. But it was the free throws that given them the lead they enjoy right now. 1 of 2 for Roseborough. It's a 37-32 game. Here's Markovic bouncing over to Aylward. Caitlin Aylward fires inside for Davidson, but it's intercepted by Mackenzie Campbell. Campbell off to King, and Tia King dribbles it off the foot of Ivana Markovic out of bounds. It'll stay with the Red Wolves. 24 on the shot clock. King trying to get it in. She finds Miller. Miller guarded by Acosta. And a drive, a little runner is good. Kristen Miller's got 17 points. Adriana Acosta playing right now in place of Paige Gieske, who did start today's game. It was not much of a factor, playing just 6 minutes with no points. Acosta played very well in her stead late in that first half. Here's Jordan. Jordan fires inside for Acosta, who breaks free of a couple of defenders and scores from underneath. That's been a winning combination today. Jordan to Acosta. She's got 10 points now. The 2 of them have combined for 23 of the team's 34. Caitlin Aylward takes it away, and a held ball call. Aylward thought she had ripped that one cleanly out of the hands of Mackenzie Campbell. Referee indicates a tie-up. It's still St. Francis ball, but now they lose the possession arrow instead of just being able to take that ball cleanly and keep the arrow in their direction. 5-point deficit for the Fighting Saints. It's Markovic dribbling off to the right side. Markovic picks up, passes down to Aylward, right back to Markovic, through her hands and taken away by Roseborough. Ball sent ahead for Miller. Kristen Miller fouled by Kamari Jordan, and that's Jordan's 3rd. Miller back to the free throw line where she's built a nice home today. That's a costly third foul on Jordan, who has 13 points in the game. Miller misses from the line for the first time tonight. Second shot is good. 1 of 2 for Miller. She's got a game-high 18 points. St. Francis basketball down by 6. Acosta again gets free down low and scores on the layup, assisted this time by Aylward. Acosta has been moving without the ball spectacularly today. And she's got 12 points, 6 of 7 from the field. King out to Roseboro, three-pointer, in and out. Rebound tipped by Campbell, and she pulls it in, back up and in. That's Cook, excuse me, rather than Campbell. Sarah Cook scores her first 2 points of this afternoon's game, and it's 42-36. Jordan off to Davidson. Caitlin Aylward on the left wing. Aylward drives and kicks out to Jordan. 6 to shoot. Kamari Jordan cuts inside. Now step back jumper is good. Kamari Jordan fired up after hitting that jumper. Well defended by Miller, but Jordan had to throw it up with the shot clock down to 4 seconds. And she swishes it through. 4-point game. Both offenses have looked sharp today. Again, the big difference has been the free throws. King from 3-point range. Off the back iron, no, but Cook, second chance, scores again. Sarah Cook did not score in the first half. She's got 4 points in the last minutes for IU East. And rebounds have become a problem for St. Francis, one of the best rebounding teams in the nation. Not so today. Markovic. Right side, dribbles towards the top, and passes back into the corner for Acosta. 7 seconds to shoot. Acosta backing down on Roseboro. Left-handed hook shot is good. Everything Acosta has touched today, turning to gold. 14 points for her, and she's just not missing from anywhere. Tia King crosses over, cuts down the middle, lays it up and in. First time we've really seen Tia King take over a possession that way tonight. So you expect to see out of her a lot more often. King, senior All-American, lobbed inside from Davidson to Acosta, tipped away, and the ball is loose and picked up by Mackenzie Campbell. Campbell off to King, step back three, Tia King strikes again. King starting to take over this game. She has scored 5 points in the last 15 seconds, and IU East has their biggest lead of the game, 49-40. King now all of a sudden has 14 points after what had been a very slow game for her. She can do that. You look up at the scoreboard, and all of a sudden, she's up to 14 for the game. King, second-team All-American last year, third-team All-American as a sophomore back in 2015-16. Leads the team in points, rebounds, assists. Just 2 off the steals lead. And she's looked good here in the second half. So has Andriana Acosta for St. Francis. Acosta entered today's game primarily as a bench player, and she did come off the bench today, although playing starters minutes in place of Paige Gieske. Started a couple of games in Gieske's place when Gieske was out with an injury. Acosta averaging 7.6 points per game. She's got 14 today, and she's done it on 7 of 8 from the field. Saints are shooting 61% as a team. 3 big factors right now contributing to IU East's lead. Free throws, 14 of them compared to St. Francis's 2. 3 extra rebounds leading to some second chance points. And they've also forced 4 more turnovers than have the Saints. Cody Brand is into the game for the first time for St. Francis. As Kamari Jordan passes off to Andriana Acosta. Here's Ivana Markovic on the right wing, 10 to shoot, off to Brand. Cody Brand drives, backing in down low, and she is fouled on the floor. First foul of the half on IU East, and it's the second on Mackenzie Campbell. Cody Brand, fresh off the bench, drawing the foul. She came in for Nicole Davidson. Here's Kaylin Aylward. Over to Brand. Brand looking inside for Acosta, can't get it to her. Pass deflected, taken away by Libby Springmeyer. Ahead to King, outside Kristen Miller for three. No, rebound tapped by Jordan to Acosta. Right back over to Kamari Jordan. She'll slow things down. Just over 4 minutes to play in the third quarter. Saints face their largest deficit of the game at 9 points. Turn the ball over now 12 times in the afternoon. Markovic drives on Springmeyer, spins around Springmeyer and lays it in. Excellent drive, Ivana Markovic. She's got 5 points. Libby Springmeyer, typically a starter, coming off the bench for the first time all year for Tiffany Selhorst's team. Beaten on defense that time. Tia King's runner, no good. Ivana Markovic on the stop defensively. Saints trying to inch closer. It's Aylward. Markovic to Kamari Jordan on the left wing. Jordan looking around, finds Acosta. 10 to shoot, it's Markovic. Markovic lobbed inside for Aylward. Aylward lays it in. Saints continue their hot shooting, but it's mostly been good shot selection more than anything else. The majority of their points here in the second half have come from inside the paint. Springmeyer on the drive, lays it up, no. Rebound tapped by Jordan, and she's called for the loose ball foul, I believe, or did she just knock it out? I think that's a foul on Jordan. That's her 4th foul. That hurts. St. Francis had just started to take some momentum. They cut the deficit to just 5. And now their leading scorer, Kamari Jordan, picks up her 4th foul. Leah Sims will come in for her. 12 minutes, 53 seconds remain in the game, so they may be without Jordan for a little while here. Inbounds pass goes to Cook, and Cook is fouled from behind by Caitlin Aylward, I believe. May have gotten Ivana Markovic from the front, but no, they're going to give it to Aylward. That's her 3rd. That's another costly one committed by the Saints. That's their 4th foul. First free throw misses from Sarah Cook. Cook's got 4 points in today's game. She's done a nice job on the offensive glass. She hits the 2nd free throw. 6-point lead for IU East. Here's Sims. Over to Acosta. Caitlin Aylward on the right side. 16 seconds on the shot clock. Starts to dribble. Over to Leah Sims. Sims finds Cody Brand down low. Brand guarded by Campbell. Loses the ball, gets it back, and travels. Seemed a little flustered right there. Cody Brand had trouble catching that pass initially. When she did finally take control, she was out of position with just 4 seconds on the shot clock. She panicked and took that step. Here's Campbell down to the corner spinning and loses her footing. She throws it away out of bounds. So back-to-back turnovers, 1 for each side. Here come the Saints, down by 6, still hanging around in this thing. They're not led since it was 22-20 back in the second quarter. Only led for about 4 minutes in total in this game as Leah Sims, a little bit out of control, throws that up and misses. Rebound taken by Cody Brand. She misses the layup. Acosta rebounds and scores. 3rd chance of the possession. St. Francis does come away with the points. Good rebounding by Cody Brand and Andriana Acosta. 2nd chance points have been a big disparity against St. Francis today. So getting those back-to-back offensive rebounds were big, but so is Libby Springmeyer's 3-pointer on the other end. Halting any momentum for St. Francis. Springmeyer makes it a 7-point game. She's got her first 3 of the afternoon. Acosta over to Markovic. Leah Sims outside. 9 to shoot. This is Acosta to Aylward. Aylward, nice fake, steps in. Her jumper misses off the side iron, but another offensive board for Acosta. She's been all over the place today. Here's Leah Sims. They'll reset the possession out to the point guard, Ivana Markovic. Markovic dribbles to the left. Under a minute to play in the quarter. Markovic spins down low and is contacted on the floor. Foul called on Springmeyer, I believe, and that's her second. We're going to call it a shooting foul. Thought they had gotten her on the floor, but Markovic gets 2 free throws. And she hits the first one. (53-47), 45 seconds to play in the third period. Markovic hits them both. She's got 7. 53-48. Here's Springmeyer. Libby Springmeyer taking it all the way in. Now bounces off last second to Cook. Cook loses control. And Acosta from the floor pulls in the rebound. Here's Markovic. Wide open 3. It's good. Markovic hits her second three-pointer of the game. She's got 10 points. And the Saints are within 2. Closest they've been in the second half. Should be the final possession here for the Red Wolves. Kristen Miller directing her offense. 7 seconds. She starts to make her move to the right. Miller drives, floats it off the side of the backboard. No good. 2 seconds left. Sims to Markovic at the buzzer. Three-pointer is no good. That one would have been exciting. Would have given the Saints the lead, but as it is, still a very strong finish to the third period for the Fighting Saints. They trailed by as many as 9 at 49-40, but they end the half on an 11-4 run to cut the deficit to only 2 points, and we should have a very exciting final 10 minutes in front of us. One final break on the broadcast here. I'll be back in just a moment. Saints down by 2. Fourth quarter, nothing decided yet. 53-51, IU East leads St. Francis. Saints shooting a mighty 60% from the field. IU East just 47%. Big difference though has been from the free throw line. IU East 15 of 19. Fighting Saints just 4 of 5. Rebounds have been pretty even. 16 for the Saints, 15 for the Red Wolves. Saints have turned the ball over 13 times, 9 for IU East. Andriana Acosta has been the individual story for the Saints today. 16 points on 8 of 9 shooting. Miller lost the ball, but right to Libby Springmeyer, and Springmeyer draws the foul going up. That's called on Acosta, and that is her third. So she joins Caitlin Aylward with 3 fouls. Kamari Jordan's got 4. Those might be the 3 most important players in the game right now for the Fighting Saints. Jordan's been on the bench for the last 3 minutes and still there to start the fourth quarter because of those 4 fouls. As Springmeyer hits the first free throw. It'll be Springmeyer, usually a starter for Tiffany Selhorst's squad. This is the second free throw. Springmeyer averaging 7 points per game. She's got 4 now in this one. Here's Aylward down in the corner. The Saints could tie it up with a 3 here. They haven't taken many threes in the game. Only 9 of them, but they've made 5. Maury Jordan and Ivana Markovic have done the heavy lifting from the outside, and there's a foul called away from the ball, a defensive foul on IU East. That's against Sybil Roseborough. That's her second. Team's first. Leah Sims inbounds to Markovic. Cody Brand left side. Brand to Elward. Ivana Markovic right wing. Up top Acosta. Half the shot clock gone. Saints not yet able to get it inside. Sims drives and kicks. Elward steps back with 6 to shoot. Acosta right back to Elward. It's knocked out of bounds by Sarah Cook. It'll stay with the Saints, but with only 4 seconds to shoot. And a substitution for IU East. Amanda Warland is in, and Sarah Cook gets a breather. Sims the trigger man on this inbounds play. Into Elward. Elward puts it in and draws the foul. No, they call it an offensive foul, excuse me, on Elward, and that's her 4th. Fourth foul on Elward, and what a turn of events. I thought initially they'd indicated a block, but it was a charge on Elward, who's going to have to check out at the next whistle. And the Saints remain down by 3. Here's Kristen Miller. Campbell on the drive. Up over Elward. She scores. A smart move by Campbell, knowing that Caitlin Elward had 4 fouls. Went right at her on the next possession. And Elward backing off, a little bit afraid of the contact. Cedes the layup. Leah Sims over to Ivana Markovic. Markovic with 10 to shoot. Passes off to Sims. Leah Sims drives with the left hand, gets inside, scores it, and a foul. And this time it is, in fact, a bucket for Sims and a defensive foul. Big drive from the freshman. First foul on Kristen Miller, who's been out there all but about 2 minutes of this game. It's surprising she had not committed a foul. There have been a lot of them in this game from both sides. Sims unable to make it a 3-point play. It's 56-53, just over 8 minutes to play in the game. This is Kristen Miller. Miller crosses over to the left, kicks it outside. Campbell, wide open 3. Off the mark. Rebound loose, picked up by Sims, but we've got a foul called on the Fighting Saints. So we'll go on Leah Sims. Her second. Miller to inbound it. Gets it to Campbell. Campbell drives from the right side, guarded by Acosta, misses on the runner. Good defense by Adriana Acosta. Saints within 3 points with the ball. Here's Sims. Over to Acosta. Adriana Acosta picks up her dribble, gets it off to Markovic. Step back, 2-pointer for Markovic goes. Ivana Markovic, not typically a big outside shooter for the Saints. Really on fire today. There's Worley left unaccounted for underneath, but she misses on the reverse layup. Rebound still loose. Roseboro is tripped up and a foul called on the Saints. Saints caught a quick break there as defense had not gotten back quickly enough. Worland wide open underneath, but missed the easy layup. Red Wolves, though, do get the foul called against Cody Brand, so they still have possession here, 7:22 to play. Inbounded to Campbell. Campbell fakes, now drives on Acosta, banks it home. 58-55, Red Wolves. Nicole Davidson off to Cody Brand. St. Francis going with 3 subs down the stretch here because of some players in foul trouble. Markovic, nice crossover. She's fouled. Ivana Markovic has 12 points in the game today. Entered play shooting just 37% from the field, 30% on threes, averaging 7 points per game. Well, in this one, She's got 12 points, 4 of 6 from the field, 2 of 4 from long range. She is having one of the better games she's ever played for the Fighting Saints. 70% foul shooter. It's on her first year. She's 3 of 3 from the line in this game. $14 points for Markovic. 1 point deficit again for the Saints. The Red Wolves were able to extend it last time it got this close. See if Libby Springmeyer and company can do it again. Off to Mackenzie Campbell. Campbell bounces to Tia King. King cutting down the baseline, stepped on the line. King's been out of the game for a while now. 14 points for the Red Wolves today. She got a lengthy rest. Saints were able to come back while she was out. Amanda Warland is the injured player down in the paint right now for Indiana University East, and this will lead to a break as she's getting a look from the trainer along with Red Wolves head coach Tiffany Selhor. She went down at some point during that play. She was not directly involved with the play. I didn't see what happened to her, but she hit the deck and still lying on the ground right now. 58-57, Indiana University East has the lead on St. Francis. 6 minutes, 36 seconds to go in the game. It's been an impressive comeback for St. Francis. They've trailed pretty much the entire way. They led very briefly in the second quarter. Warland is up on her feet. She's being helped off the court. She's got that right leg lifted in the air, not putting any pressure on it. So she is leaving the floor, but appears to be in some pain and probably done for the day, although I won't say anything for sure. We'll see what happens going forward, but Warland certainly will have to check out for right now. Saints have trailed by as many as 9 points here in the second half. Biggest lead was 4 back at 22-18. 20-16 at one point as well. They've been playing comeback the whole way, and they're hot shooting, particularly from Markovic, Acosta, and Jordan, who's been on the bench for a while now with 4 fouls. That's kept them alive. Leah Sims has played some very nice minutes off the bench. The freshman asked to play a bigger role today because of those players in foul trouble. Markovic up top. Off to Sims, back to Ivana. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Markovic dribbles to the left, passes back to Sims. Sims crosses over on Miller. Leaner off the glass, no. Cody Brand, offensive rebound, back up and in. Cody Brand puts St. Francis in the lead with her first 2 points of the night, and it's the Saints' first lead since it was 22-20. Here's Tia King, giving the lead right back to Indiana University West. Back and forth we go down the stretch here. Tia King has got 16 points today. Here's Davidson. To Leah Sims on the outside. To Markovic, right wing. Ivana Markovic starts to dribble inside the perimeter. Nice crossover on Springmeyer. She finds Brand underneath, but Markovic called for the offensive foul as Sarah Cook, or rather Mackenzie Campbell, stood in there and took the charge. That's the third on Markovic. Aylward and Jordan both are on the bench already with 4 fouls. And now Sarah Cook is back in for Libby Springmeyer. 60-59, Red Wolves. Saints put on a light press. Here's Tia King across the timeline. King crosses over to the left, passes down low for Cook, off her hands, but she gets it back to Kristen Miller. Drive from Mackenzie Campbell, and Campbell is tripped up. So that goes on Sims or Brand. It'll be the third if it's on Leah Sims. Call it on Cody Brand, that's her second. Mari Jordan heads to the scorer's table with 5:04 to play. Steve Brooks is going to give her a chance to play with 4 fouls. Kenzie Campbell, one of the best free throw shooters in the country, hits the first, 61-59. Brand checks out. Put some good minutes in for the Fighting Saints, playing with Jordan and Aylward in foul trouble. They're going to keep her close. They may go back to her defensively when they get the chance, as Campbell hits both free throws. It's a three-point game once again. 4 straight for IU East after the Saints had taken their first lead in a long time. Here's Markovic. Ivana Markovic gets it to Kamari Jordan. 11 to shoot. Jordan takes the three. Off to the right, and it ricochets out of bounds. Ugly possession for the Saints that time. No real movement off the ball. Kamari Jordan just held it up top and eventually fired a three. Not really in rhythm. Saints will press. Tia King, the inbounder here, with Ivana Markovic playing the ball. It goes in to Campbell. Cody Brand did indeed come right back for Kamari Jordan to play defense. Campbell off balance, misses on the leaner from underneath. Cody Brand taking it the other way. She gives it up to Leah Sims. Markovic to Brand, left side. Up top, Sims. Markovic on the right. Shot clock down to 10. It's Nicole Davidson to Leah Sims. Sims drives on Campbell and puts it in on the layup from the left side. Nice drive, Leah Sims. Sims has 4 points in the game. She has played very well today, and a 30-second timeout is called. 4:04 to play in the game. This has been tight. Biggest lead for either team has belonged to Indiana East, 9 points. That was when it was 49-40. But for the most part, it's been within about 6 points for the Saints, who have trailed almost the entire way. They've led for only a little over 3.5 minutes in this one. But they, as I said, have kept it close and have been within striking distance the whole way. Down by just 1 point now with 4 minutes, 4 seconds left in the game. A couple of highly ranked teams who have struggled in the month of December and are trying to get back on track in a big way here to end the month. Heading into conference season. Conference season has started for both of these teams already, but the last 2 months of the season will be pretty much exclusively conference games. Right now, still playing a mix. Here's Campbell breaking the press. Bounced off to Sybil Roseborough. Poked away by Jordan. Roseborough tried to save it, but she knocks it out. It touches the baseline, so it is St. Francis basketball following the turnover. It's the 11th turnover of the game committed by the Red Wolves. Caitlin Aylward back in, so now both Aylward and Jordan are playing with 4 fouls. And this is Aylward on the left wing, finding Leah Sims. Jordan to Markovic, and over to Aylward. Shot clock down to 10. It's Leah Sims getting the handoff. Sims had a big layup on the last possession. She drives and lays it up and in again. Leah Sims has 6. And the Saints lead 63-62. Steve Brooks brought both Aylward and Jordan back in the game, but he's sticking with Leah Sims because of how well she's played in this game. Here's Tia King up over Markovic. Too strong on the shot, rebounded by Acosta, and she's immediately fouled. Just the 4th foul on the team, so this will not send the Saints to the free throw line. The next one will. And St. Francis has the ball and the lead simultaneously for the first time in more than 20 minutes of game action. Here's Markovic. Saints look to extend that advantage. Leah Sims on the right wing. Sims finds Kamari Jordan. Down low, Aylward, one-on-one. Aylward backing down, puts it up with the right hand and in. Nice little hook shot, Caitlin Aylward. She's got 8 points, and the Saints are starting to take over this game a little bit. Tia King looking to respond, pulls up in the paint
and passes it out to Miller. Kristen Miller, huge first half, quiet in the second. Out to King, who misses the three. Rebounded by Acosta, who's fouled by Campbell. 2:25 to go in the game. And Adriana Acosta's heading down to the other side for 2 free throws. It's the third foul on Mackenzie Campbell. Saints have scored the game's last 6 points. Acosta is the team's leading scorer with 16 in the game. This is her first chance from the free throw line. 60% shooter. She hits the first. 66-62. Cody Brand back in for Caitlin Aylward to play defense. Steve Brooks will play offense, defense with Brand. And either Aylward or Jordan as much as he can the rest of the way. Acosta hits them both. Biggest lead of the night for the Saints. 67-62, 2:25 to play. Here's Tia King, 16 points in the game. King drives, kicks into the corner. This is Roseboro, out to Miller. Miller's got 18 points in the game today, but only 3 of them since halftime. This time, she's able to get to the hoop and score. So 5 points now since the break, and Miller's got 20. Timeout called by Steve Brooks. It's a 30-second timeout. Mostly a substitution timeout. Wanted to get Aylward back in the game with 1:58 left on the clock. We will take a 30-second break here. St. Francis looking to get back in the wins column. They finished the month of November having won 6 consecutive games, but have struggled against a very difficult schedule here in December. They've gone just 2-3. One of those losses came to Division II Lewis, and one of them to Division III Wisconsin Lutheran, but the other was a conference game against Olivet Nazarene, ranked number 13 in the current poll. IU East has similarly gone through some tough times. Prior to their most recent game, they had lost 4 in a row, all of them though by single digits, and 2 of them against top 20 teams. Red Wolves are 9-6 this year, but 4 of their 6 losses have come against teams in the top 20. Saints trying to give them another top 20 loss right here. 67-64, final 2 minutes. It's Ivana Markovic. Mari Jordan up top, tries the 3. She's got it. 6-point lead for the Saints. Jordan's got 18. Timeout called by the Red Wolves. Tiffany Selhorst wants to talk things over as they face their biggest deficit of the game. 92 seconds remaining. It's 70-64. Saints have been picky with their 3-point attempts today, but they have been hot when shooting them. 6 of 11 from 3-point range. They're shooting 64% as a team in the game. Mari Jordan, Adriana Acosta each have 18 points. Ivana Markovic also in double figures with 14. For IU East, Kristen Miller leads the way with 20 points. Tia King's got 16, but on only 4 of 12 from the field. It's been a tough game today for King. Tia King, one of several players on this Red Wolves team who has been there since the beginning. Just the 4th year of operation for Indiana University East basketball, and Tiffany Selhorst has done a spectacular job with this club. She took them to the NAIA tournament in just their 2nd year of existence. They made a return trip last year. And we're expected to make a run for it again this season with a lot of talent returning, but tough start. They've already lost more games this year than they did all of last season. Trying to avoid a 7th loss as Tia King throws one up along the baseline. No good. Rebounded by Acosta, who is immediately fouled, and she's going back to the line. Tiffany Selhorst had to build this program up from nothing 4 years ago. The school did not have a women's basketball program. They hired Selhorst away, oddly enough, from St. Francis, not this St. Francis, but St. Francis in Pennsylvania. She had been an assistant coach. In the first year of the program, they only brought in one transfer. Everyone else on the roster was a freshman. That included Tia King and Kristen Miller. Mackenzie Campbell as well was on that team, although she's only a junior now. She missed what would have been her sophomore season with an injury. So she is in her fourth year with the program, but a redshirt junior. So there are a number of players here who have been with the program since its inception, trying to get to the tournament for the third straight year, but they will face an uphill climb. If they can't pull off the comeback in the last 84 seconds of this game, they will fall to 9-7. As for the Fighting Saints, what a big win this would be. After trailing pretty much the entire way, to get hot in the final few minutes, they're on an 11-2 run right now to take their biggest lead so far in the game at 70-64. And a chance to add to it here. Andriana Acosta already having a career day, looking for 2 more points. Acosta did not start. Paige Gieske was in the lineup. After missing the last few games, she played today with a mask on. So Acosta hits the first free throw. It was ineffective early. Acosta replaced her, and we've not seen Gieske in the second half. Acosta's been on the floor the entire way. She's played 32 minutes tonight, and she's got 20 points. She's only missed one shot, 4 for 4 on free throws, 8 of 9 from the field. She's been spectacular. Tia King's three-pointer blocked by Ivana Markovic. Cody Brand comes away with it. And that might be all she wrote in this game. Saints can eat away some clock here if they come away with points. They could do it. Cody Brand on the right wing. Indiana East has not fouled. They really can't now. They've used up too much clock already. 10 to shoot for the Fighting Saints. And Kamari Jordan throws it away, intercepted by King. King streaking the other way, lays it up and in with 49 seconds left. Timeout called by the Red Wolves, and that sloppy turnover by St. Francis has kept Indiana East alive. 6-point game with 49 seconds left. And it looked like the Saints were ready to salt it away on that last possession. But a turnover leading to points and quick points for the Red Wolves changes plans a little bit. 49.3 on the clock. St. Francis shooting their free throws well today. As a team, they've gone 10 of 12 and starting to even up that free throw disparity, which for a while had been very lopsided in Indiana's favor. At one point, IU East had taken 17 free throws, and the Saints had only shot 3 of them. Now the number 23-12. In the 6-point game, IU East doesn't necessarily have to foul, but if they don't, they're not going to get the ball back until under 20 seconds left, as there is a foul committed by Roseboro, getting Markovic. And Ivana Markovic, who has been lights out from the floor tonight, will head to the free throw line. Markovic, 14 points in the game. It's been an odd game for the Saints. Caitlin Aylward has not been a huge factor. Paige Gieske did not score at all in her limited action before sitting down early. Markovic hits the free throw. Nicole Davidson only has 4 points in the game. But they have gotten contributions from all over the place. Ivana Markovic and Andriana Acosta both playing probably their best games of the year. Leah Sims has been sensational off the bench. Second shot is good. It's an 8-point game once again. And IU East will take another timeout. 16 points now for Ivana Markovic. 44.8 seconds remain in the game, and the Red Wolves need a basket. They need it quick to give them any chance at winning this thing. Coming up next for the Fighting Saints this Wednesday, they're back at home 4 days from today, 7 o'clock. That evening, they'll take on Indiana Northwest in another non-conference game, and that will be their final non-conference game of the season. They're at Robert Morris next Saturday, and from there on, it's nothing but CCAC games. They're 6-1 so far in the CCAC. trailing only St. Xavier and Olivet Nazarene, who are both 7-0. Saints lost to Olivet a couple of weeks ago. They will not see St. Xavier until the 17th of January. And they will, in February, get another date with Olivet here at home. Ready to go once again. It's inbounded to Tia King. King dribbles around the right side, well guarded by Jordan. Kicks it out to Roseboro. Roseboro drives, stumbles, and a foul is called on St. Francis. Free throws for Roseboro. That's on Cody Brand, her third. .37 seconds to play in the game. Roseboro's first free throw rims out. So it will remain a three possession game. Regardless of what happens on the second free throws, Aylward checks in for Brand. Second free throw is good. 74-67. And now IU East is going to have to foul immediately if they can't get a quick steal. A timeout called on the IU East bench before the inbounds play, and this should be their last timeout. Check that St. Francis called the timeout, so both teams still have one left. Full timeout called by Steve Brooks from the bench. 74-67. Saints trailed by as many as 9 points. They've led by as many as 8, but their leads have pretty much all come in the last couple of minutes. 5 lead changes in the game, most of them here in the fourth quarter. The Saints trailed almost the entire way, but they've outscored the Red Wolves 23-14 in the fourth quarter, and that doesn't include the end of the third when they got hot. The last minute of the third quarter is really when they turned this game around, because they had been fading for a little bit. It seemed like IU East had taken over. They built up a 9-point lead, but ever since then, Saints have outscored them 34-18. They've really controlled the game since late in the third quarter. It was 49-40 with 4 minutes to play in that third quarter, and that's when the game turned around. Go back to the last minute and a half of the third quarter. I think is really when St. Francis took the momentum that they have not relinquished ever since. It was 53-47. They scored the final 2 baskets, or 53-46 rather. They scored the final 2 baskets in that period to make it a 2-point game as the ball is inbounded to Leah Sims, and she's fouled. Fouled from behind, actually, by Tia King. Ruby Springmeyer had a clean strip on her, but the foul came first. It was 53-46. It's been 28-14 in favor of St. Francis, and Leah Sims gets on the first free throw. 7 points for Sims in the game. She entered play today averaging 1.2 per contest. Just a 17% shooter. She had not made a free throw all year, but far and away her best offensive game of the year today. She does miss her second free throw. It's an 8-point game, and a timeout is called by IU East. So now this should be their final timeout. 33.3 seconds on the clock. Saints took an 8-point lead at 72-64 about a minute of game time ago. Looked like they were ready to put it away. Kamari Jordan threw the ball away. It was picked off by Tia King, who took it all the way to the other end, scored a quick layup. That renewed the Red Wolves' hope. They have now, however, been closer than 6 ever since that point. When they don't score on this possession, I think it's fair to say that it will be all over. So Stephanie Selhorst has called the timeout to make sure that they've got the right mentality, the right play drawn up here, because they need a bucket. Well, not just here, pretty much every time they touch the ball the rest of the way, they're going to need to score to have any chance. And even that might not do it. St. Francis has been so good here in this fourth quarter. Kristen Miller is getting ready to inbound, but just doesn't look like the official is getting ready to hand her the ball. He walks off to the scorer's table instead. Whatever issue that was is all cleared up now. And he takes it back to the other side of the floor for Miller. Lobbed in, down low to Cook. Cook turn around on Cody Brand off the front iron. No. Offensive rebound, Campbell back up and in. IU East still alive. Ball goes into Kamari Jordan, and she's quickly fouled by Sybil Roseborough.
IU East foul number 0, Roseborough, fourth personal.
Fourth foul on Sybil Roseborough. Brings Kamari Jordan down to the charity stripe on the other end of the floor. 26.5 still on the clock. Jordan has been playing throughout this fourth quarter with 4 fouls. Has not diminished her offensive effectiveness. She gets the first free throw. So it's a 3-possession game again. 26.5 seconds to go. Caitlin Aylward also with 4 fouls, back in for Cody Brand. Brand has 3 fouls for her part. Jordan hits them both. 8-point lead for the Fighting Saints. Here's Tia King. King layup, no good. Rebound tipped around, secured by Miller. Miller puts it up and in. 77-71. The game stops. No timeouts called here. 16.8 seconds on the clock. 22 points now for Kristen Miller. Caitlin Aylward is going to inbound. And now the Saints do call timeouts. That's their last timeout. All of them have been called. Last 2 minutes of this game taking a long time to finish up, despite the fact that it really has not been all that close in the fourth quarter. The game probably feels a little bit closer than the score actually indicates because of how tight it was the entire way. St. Francis has taken over this fourth period. They have dominated the fourth quarter to a score of 26-18. And in the last 2 minutes, they've led by anywhere between 6 and 8 points, but it really has not gotten any closer than that. And now both teams are out of timeouts. St. Francis will be able to advance the ball past midcourt to inbound here. Now once again, if IU East does not get the quick steal, they'll have to foul. And even one free throw will probably mean the end of this game. Caitlin Aylward has the inbounds pass, and she's fouled immediately by Sarah Cook. 15 seconds left, and if Aylward hits, again, just one free throw, it becomes a 3-possession game. And with 15 seconds left, it's probably going to be all she wrote, but we'll wait to see what happens. First free throw misses. So the Red Wolves are still alive. Aylward looking to hit on the second. She's got 8 points in the game so far, 16-point per game scorer on the season. She gets the second. So it is now a 7-point game. Kristen Miller working quickly. Going right at Aylward, gets around her, lays it up and in. But with just 8 seconds left now, it's 78-73. Aylward inbounds to Leah Sims. Sims to Aylward, and they are not going to foul. It appears 3 seconds left. They'll let the clock run out, and St. Francis comes away with a 78-73 victory over Indiana University East. Not an easy win by any means, but an impressive one. Very impressive the way they overcame a 9-point second half deficit and really dominated down the stretch, cruising to a relatively easy in the end 78-73 win. Not at all easy throughout the game, but easy throughout the last couple of minutes anyway in that fourth quarter. All they had to do was hit their free throws, which they did all game, not just in the fourth period. Again, 78-73 the final here. We'll look at some of the final stats from today's game. The biggest reason the Saints won, they're shooting red hot all game, 64% for the game, 55% on threes, 6 of 11. IU East shot 46% from the field, 33% on three-pointers. They kept themselves in the game for a long time with the free throws. They went 19 of 25 from the line, but St. Francis evened up the free throw mark as the game went on because the Red Wolves were fouling in desperation over the final couple of minutes. They went 16 of 20 on free throws. They out-rebounded IU East 25-22. Turnovers 11 only committed by the Red Wolves. Good game in terms of protecting the basketball for them. Saints committed 16, which could have been a problem, but it wasn't because of what I mentioned earlier. The shooting was just too much. Those turnovers were not able to turn the game in IU East's favor because the Saints stayed hot all game. In particular, Andriana Acosta, 8 of 9 from the field, 4 of 4 from the line, 20 points for her. Kamari Jordan, 20 points as well on 6 of 11 shooting. Ivana Markovic, 4 of 6 from the field, 2 of 4 on three-pointers, 6 for 6 on free throws. Markovic scored 16 points today. For Acosta, not just a great shooting night, she had a double-double, 11 rebounds as well. Jordan led the way with 3 assists in the game. For IU East, Kristen Miller had 24 points, Tia King had 18, and Sybil Roseborough led the way with 6 rebounds from the point guard position in today's game. Again, the final score, St. Francis 78, IU East 73. The Red Wolves fall to 9-7 on the year. They've lost 5 of their last 6. St. Francis improves to 9-5, and they wrap up the 2017 year with that record. They will head into 2018 with their next game on Wednesday, January 3rd, right here at home, 7 o'clock start against Indiana Northwest. The tour of Indiana teams coming to town continues again Wednesday at 7 o'clock, and we'll have that one for you right here with the broadcast through the St. Francis YouTube page and through the GoFightingSaints.com website as well. So make sure you check that out and tune in on Wednesday night, 7 o'clock, our next broadcast of Fighting Saints basketball. A great game this afternoon. 2017 goes out on a high note, 78-73. St. Francis victorious. That's going to do it for our broadcast today. We're back at it on Wednesday with the final non-conference game of the season against Indiana Northwest. Until then, this is Terry Bonadonna signing off for everybody from the University of St. Francis. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday.